Welcome to the channel. This channel is for new writers and those new to pursuing the goal of completing a novel. If you're looking for some software that can help you complete your goal, something to help you keep organized, help you make your way through the process of completing a novel, well, that's what we've been looking at. We've been looking at software that's under $30 and does not require an internet connection. Last time in part 1, we looked at Writeway Pro and Storyweaver 3. Today we're going to look at 2 other softwares that meet our criteria. First, we're going to look at Snowflake Pro. Snowflake Pro is a companion software for the Snowflake method of plotting. If you've ever read the book, How to Write a Novel Using the Snowflake Method, then you know what I'm talking about when I say the Snowflake method. If you've ever bought the book or the ebook version, you can get the software for free. Because the software is free for anybody that has these books or have ever had these books, I'm considering the price of this software $5.99, since that's what you can purchase the ebook version for. So let's go take a look at Snowflake Pro. Snowflake Pro has some interesting things. It has some lectures and audio reminding those that read the book about the Snowflake method. The method itself takes you from a very simple structure of a one-sentence plot for your story, and it expands that one sentence that explains everything that you need to know, and it keeps expanding it over and over and over again until you have a complex shape of things that is your story. You'll have your plot points and your characters and basically everything you need to get started writing. This software does not have a place to actually write the manuscript. It's all about coming up with the idea, fleshing it out, and making sure you have everything that it requires to be a complete story. To start off, it asks you for the title of your novel, a word count, and for you to think a bit about who your target reader is and the category of your book. You can put in your author information and then begin step 1 with that short one sentence that explains your storyline. In step 2, you expand that into one paragraph, and you keep moving through the steps, defining characters and expanding until you get to the end when you can actually put together a proposal about your story, an elevator pitch, and basically a synopsis of everything you need in order to actually write your manuscript. The actual writing, of course, will take place in some other program, some other software, or even on a tablet. But if you follow the Snowflake method and it appeals to you, then this software is a possibility. As I said, if you've ever bought the book or the ebook, you can download this software for free. It's available at advancedfictionwriting.com. It's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So if you're interested, visit advancedfictionwriting.com. The link will be in the description, and get yourself a copy of this software. The next software we're going to look at is New Novelist 3. New Novelist 3 is a paid software, but it does fall under our $30 limit. It's $29.99 at newnovelist.com. Now, looking at the page here, you see that it says that this is a special offer for the $29.99. However, I've been to this page several times over a couple of different years, and it always seems to say $29.99. So that's what I'm saying the price is. It runs only on Windows, and it is good at up to Windows 10. I have not yet tried it on Windows 11. This software has a few extras that Snowflake Pro didn't, and it is designed for new writers. It begins by letting you create a new story where it gives you a wizard that you can follow through. The wizard is pretty simple. It asks you for a novel name. I'll just put in My Adventure. And it asks for an author name. And it asks for the novel concept. This is the first place where you start to think about what your novel is. In my case, I'm just going to call it My Adventure. That's good enough for me to get started. The next part of the wizard asks you to pick a category, a type of story that you're going to be writing. It asks for either a plot-driven story, a character-driven story, or an epic story. Based on which one of these you pick, you can then pick a novel type that varies based on the category you picked above. You can have a chase, character adventure, a puzzle, excess and downfall. If I went into character up here in the top, it might be internal transformation or coming of age. If I picked epic, it also has things like excess and downfall, intense love story, or love story. You get the point. Whatever you pick above affects what you pick below. I'm going to pick a plot-driven story that's an action adventure. Then I click Next. What it's done is it's used my choices to define 12 steps in my story, and it's created sections over on the left that match. I'm just going to give it a quick name here. I'm going to overwrite one of my other ones from when I was playing around with it. Now my sections agree with what the wizard came up with. If I needed to change the name, I could do so up here at the top. So maybe everybody's happy, including the hero. So I'll delete these two words, hit change title, and you see my section 1 title has changed. This panel here actually gives some information for new novelists, a little bit of advice on how to go about doing section 1. As you go through the sections, it gives you different advice for each one of those parts. There's also a place to put notes and track resources for your different sections of story. This whole panel also collapses, giving you a good area for writing. Here I'll just put in a little bit of text. Now, this text looks really big, but I have a zoom down here at the bottom that allows me to change that. It's whatever is comfortable as I'm typing. So that's a good little piece of information about this software. The actual font can be changed up here at the top. So I'm going to change it to, let's try this Lithos Pro. Kind of funny looking, but you get the point. In this editor window, I also have the ability to use magic word. So if I didn't want to use the word rest, I could hit magic word, and it's going to go out and it's going to look for some options for rest. Maybe I really meant a pause of my boring life. So I can click that and replace rest with pause. I can also turn on and off spell check, and I can even have the editor here read back what I've written so far.
This was the first day of the pause of my boring life.
I can dictate to it, although I've found with this software the dictation is not very good. So I don't think I ever said anything about electing King John. So I'm not very pleased with the dictation, but it might work for your voice and the way you speak. Along with all this, you have a place to the right here where you can expand and put in characters. I'm going to put in one real quick. I'm going to name him Bob. I'm going to make him an antagonist and male. Well, maybe I don't like the name Bob, so I ask for some suggestions, and I get Richard Rawl. There you go, Richard. There's a place to put some attributes, even a picture, and keep track of what sections of the story Bob appears in. You can do the same with places, objects, and ideas. There's also a little place here where you could review, hit read it now, and it puts it in this silly little book and has it read to you.
This was the first day of the pause of my boring life.
You do have an option to change the workspace theme colors. Let's try this bright red. And use some things like word analyzer, word spider, where you can get suggestions for the word red or any other word. You can choose, I have it set to US English. I'm going to back to the text editor, and you can go and look at the research browser. I would probably not use this browser, but use one of my main browsers, but it is available if you want to use it. I can reorganize my sections. And I can save my file. There's some help. And you can go back to your novel properties at any time you need to see what you've put there. So if you're looking for something to help you keep your stories arranged and has a fairly decent text editor, then New Novelist 3 might be for you. Again, New Novelist 3 is available for $29.99 from newnovelist.com. Check the links below if you're interested in either one of these programs. This concludes part 2. Come back next time for part 3, where we'll go over yet more software for under $30.